Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Open Up Podcast. How are we doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm doing well too. Thank
Yes.
you.
I think this past week we had the opportunity to create some joy in our lives.
I know I had the opportunity to go to my provincial chapter in New Jersey, so I met some people and we laughed a lot and
Did
we
you?
had a wonderful time over there. So
Sounds like you're ready for the future
I
when
know.
you're leading
But
those chapters and stuff.
no, I wasn't leading anything. I was just sitting there and listening to people talk and discuss about the future of the congregation, right? Of our congregation itself in our
Spill the tea.
province. Well, I have no tea to spill as yet. We will wait till the information gets to our
Right.
emails, right?
Of course.
Yes. So
And you have to keep it,
yes.
yeah. Yeah.
So
But what I'm wondering is why are you having these conferences during the semester, and especially as we're getting close to finals?
Because we all need a break every now and then. School can be too much, and professors sometimes also take time to go on conferences. You know, I had a professor last semester. Not gonna say any names, but he is retired, and he was retired when he got called. But the professor who was teaching this class passed away over the summer. And
oh,
so this professor, they called him and they said, "Can you teach this class while we find somebody?" Anyway, so the first the first day of class, we're going through syllabus and whatever, and he starts by saying, "Guys, I'm retired," but they keep calling me to come back. So some classes, we're gonna have to have on Zoom because I'm gonna go fishing, and
I
that's just
agree.
the way
I
it is.
And
like
so,
that.
right, I like that too.
Yes, he
right?
says, and then he every now and then he would throw it in the class, and he would just be like, "I'm retired," like. But they keep calling me back. But I'm supposed to be retired. I just don't know when this is gonna happen.
Right.
So anyway, speaking of retirement, it
That's
sounds
on
like
the horizon for me.
Yeah,
that.
for you,
Yes,
Yes.
So is
Yes.
that what the poem is about? We keep talking
that's
about.
not only the poem, but that's all gonna be also our topic for today. We're looking at horizons.
And what would you do for the crystal ball?
And, yeah, we're looking at the future, but not through a crystal ball.
Maybe for a
This,
mirror, right? Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Who's the fairest of them all?
Snow White. I'm glad we know our fairy tales.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway, today we're opening up with another poem by our favorite poet, our
wonderful hour.
second favorite poet from this podcast.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes, of course.
I
you're
agree.
you're the first, and we're always obviously looking for poems that feature you, of course, because your poems are really good.
Yes.
And which is why you have two poem books.
Yes.
What they're called what? Just for
The
the
first
audience.
one is Believing While Grieving,
Yeah.
and the second one is Watching While Waiting.
The first one made me cry. By the way, because I've read it and I was going through like a closure of something, and as I was reading it, I was in the parking lot at Chick-fil-A waiting for my order. This is a few years ago, and I had it and I opened it, and I started reading, and I was like,
Oh,
I
don't
started
you cry.
crying.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad
But-
because that's part of the
Wow,
grieving
ouch.
process.
I know.
No,
It is,
Yes.
yes.
But one
and
thing
it's
we
okay.
forgot to speak about is that this is our last podcast for the season 2.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Which
And
is
that is
sad.
why we're doing this topic, right? What is
Horizon.
what's on our horizon for the next chapter?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, like I said, the book is from Rudy Francisco's first poetry book called Helium, and it's called Horizon. And it goes like this. I hope I haven't already driven past my greatest moments. I hope there is something beautiful on the horizon that's just as impatient as I am. Something so eager it wants to meet me halfway. A moment that is diligently staring at its watch, trembling with nervousness, frustrated, and bursting at the seams, wondering what's taking me so long to arrive.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I just speaking of the horizon, I this is a poem that I like a lot by him, and because it talks about looking at the future and saying, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what is happening right now, I am hoping that in my future there is something that is good, and as much as I'm longing for it, that moment is also longing for me.
Mm.
You
That's
know.
deep, brother.
Yes, of
You
course.
know what I like here? It says, and I got very teary when he read it. He says, I hope I haven't already driven past my greatest moments.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's deep also because I've had a lot of great moments, and I would maybe hope in the future that I will have maybe greater ones with the people I've encountered. And I am praying and hoping that I have not driven past them too quickly,
Yeah.
right? Um, but I really like that line. Um, yeah,
It is that hopefully we haven't missed the best years of our lives.
right.
And we had the moment to celebrate the beauty of that moment.
Yeah.
I also liked the line that says, a moment that is diligently staring at its watch, trembling with nervousness, frustrated, and bursting at the seams. That just so beautifully talks about the journey to the future with fear, anxiety, and anticipation and joy. It's like all of those emotions come together for looking at what's coming
Yeah.
and being on watch for it.
That's true.
But I want to say something about something that you said earlier, just as a few seconds ago, when you say, "I hope, but I haven't driven past my best years yet," and I think more than that, more than I haven't passed them, is that to recognize that we've had a lot of really good years, but that's not the end of it,
Right.
right?
Right.
That the good years that we've had, um, there's more, and that it only gets better. There's you know how people have when you cheers or when you do toast. There's one that I heard once um, that I really like because it says, may the best of our past be the worst of our future,"
Ooh.
or something like that, right? So it just says that the best moments that we've had, we look at it and we're like, wow, that was really bad compared to how good things are in the future.
I like
Yeah.
that.
That's awesome.
My husband used to have a saying whenever we would get in an argument, and in order to make peace, he would say, "You're going to look back on these as the best years of your life."
You know, I think, and just to ground us a little bit, there is, it's so exciting to look at the future that we may forget to live in the present. And I think what he was saying, it was speaking of that. There's a song, I forget who's the artist. It's a country song, and it's called "You're Gonna Miss This," and it talks about this. I think it's a young girl, and the father is like telling the story and how she says, you know, when she's a little girl, and she's like she just can't wait to get older, and the mother says, "You're gonna miss this, and you're gonna look back on these days." And then, as you know, she goes through life. She wants to get married, and she's just rushing, you know, I guess, or excited to do that. And the song keeps saying, "You're gonna miss this." So it's just like, yes, it's good to look at the future, but enjoy where you're at right now, because at the end of the day, all we have is the
Now.
present moment.
That is so true. My mom used to tell us that enjoy where we at and don't seek for the future because we're gonna miss it. Because she did miss when she was a child, when her mom had to do everything, when she didn't have to focus on paying the bills, when she didn't have to focus on all of these things. And now my sister is going through the same thing, wishing that she was under her mother's roof. But now she has her own house. Now she's married, and then she has this longing of always wanting to be home, being
Yeah.
with her parents. And I think it's true. I think knowing that in the present, when we wish to be, oh, I want to get out of the house. I want to go out there and work. I want to be able to buy my stuff. And then when we get there, we wish for something more, or we wish for when our parents, like when I was home for the Christmas, not last year, the year before last, um, we were talking about how our parents used to buy us gifts, and we used to get like new clothes, new everything. And when we went back home, we were like, what day we gonna go shopping? Because my dad used to take us to the city and we go shopping. All of us, we would all go down to Castries and we would go shopping. And when we went back home, all of us in the house, we were there and we said, when are we gonna go shopping? We miss those times. We have to do the shopping ourselves. We have to get them a present. And then now they not. And then my father started to laugh, and it's like, you were too eager to grow, and now you are grown, right? So I think sometimes looking at the future could be scary,
Yes.
and
And sometimes the future may not be as exciting as it seems. I will
Right.
say, when I was a kid, so at Christmas and other, like when we had like a big celebration at grandma's, mm, I have come from a actually big extended family. My closest family, my parents, my siblings, it's a small. We're five. It's five of us total. Mm, but my mother comes from a big family, and it's nine of them, and that's where we did a lot of the like Christmas and all of the other celebrations. And so I remember sitting at my grandma's patio, and there was a children's table, and the adults were either in the kitchen or the adult table. And when we were kids, we were like all the kids were talking and we're sharing and joking and playing games, whatever. And I remember there were times where I would say, man, I can't wait to be an adult, to be at the adult table and like talk with the adults and whatever. And now that I'm an adult, I am at the adult table. It's so boring. I mean, like they talk about really boring things, or they talk about this person or that person, and this is what's happening, or what are we gonna do for this and that, and organizing. And and I look back on sitting at the children's table and how fun it was, because there were no rules in terms of what we had to talk about. And I remember us, making up stories or making up games, and even playing, because this is before technology, and having cell phones and whatever, and being glued to a screen. And so we would play these games that we were just making them up as we were going. And there were no rules. We would just say, oh, I'm this character and I have these powers, and then the other person said, these are my powers. And we would either do missions or fight with each other, and it was just like whatever. And then as an adult, it's like, what, this
It's
is
it's not as fun.
no, it's like, this
You
is what
don't
we were.
use your imagination.
Not nearly as much. It's
Yes,
like we
and
were looking
that's
forward to
fun.
this.
But that's part of looking toward the horizon. What can you imagine? What future do you imagine for
Right.
yourself? And we have some people in the audience today.
yes, we do.
One is ready to embrace a new
To get off his phone.
a new stage on his life. Let us introduce Ben.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Benedict.
Can
Actually,
you
is
introduce
his real-
yourself?
My name is Benedict. I'm from the province of Canada. I'm a redemptorist, like Antonio and McQueen. And Bonnie.
Do you love living with us?
Yes, I like living with you.
He loves it so much he's getting ready to
said
leave it.
Us, not
I like
you.
I like living with y'all.
Okay.
Yes,
yes,
Go to
tell
Texas
us.
long enough. Yeah.
So what's the question you have?
You have been in probation for how long?
I guess 7 years now.
Wow.
3 years in Toronto for my candidacy, 1 in Mexico for novitiate, and now 3 here for theology.
Okay, and you're getting ready to graduate in just what, 3 weeks? 4
Yes,
weeks?
just about.
And then you're going away for forever. Really?
I leave San Antonio. Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. That's what I meant.
But then what do you have upon your horizon? Because there's a lot of things that you have to do.
In my horizon is first New York City for my CPE.
Oh,
I'll
good.
be working in a hospital for that. And then I'll be in Toronto for, I don't know how long, maybe 2 years. 1 year for my pastoral year, and then a year after receiving diaconate
Okay.
until I get priestly ordination.
So how do you feel about that journey? And I think that's one of the questions that Bonnie was gonna ask, like your
So
transition.
thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking on Bonnie's behalf. I feel I think it's bittersweet. Um, it'll be. It's nice to obviously move on and progress forward in my own vocation, but I do know the reality that I'm confronting is different than the reality that's here. I am the youngest confer in the whole province, and so it's a very different energy that I'm entering into, and so looking forward to it still, obviously, because it's progress. But yeah, I'd say bittersweet would be the
Mhm.
word I would give it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you've gotten used to the rhythm of life here,
Yeah,
going to school, coming home, studying, going to bed, prayer
right.
as the beginning and the middle and the end of your day, and so you'll have to find a new rhythm in each of those new passages on your horizon.
Right, and living with people who are more so familiar with your references and points of view.
Yes.
Right.
That's being one of it. It's just at a social level, things change.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So it sounds like you're preparing yourself for some of those things. But then you're also going to be open to surprises, I'm sure.
Right, take things as they come, essentially, and make the best of it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we wish you well on your journey.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So not going so far is we met William last week. So William, what's on your horizon?
Not going so far here, but he is going far.
Where are you
Where are
going?
you going?
Hello. So, what is arriving for me after 2 years out? I'm come back to Brazil for some vacations
Yay.
to visit my family, to speak some Portuguese, eat some Brazilian foods, and hang out a bit with my community where I grew up. I will be able to celebrate with my community our patron saint. For it's the big feast in my community where I grew up. So I'm really happy with this chance to visit my family, to enjoy a bit from my roots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Did you say how long it's been since you've been home?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
2 years
Mhm.
out of Brazil, out of environment speaking
Yeah.
Well,
Portuguese.
that's not that bad. I haven't been home in 1 year. I'm just.
Well, I haven't been home in 6 months.
But 2 years is a lot. I
It
agree
is.
to that. I agree.
And not having people to speak Portuguese with, I'm
Right.
sure has been very difficult for you.
Yes,
But,
have been a different experience. I know it's necessary to learn a new language. It's necessary to be out. It's not necessary, but it's good. Help a lot to improve fast, but it's part of life.
It is.
But living with us makes up for it, right?
That's true. That's very
Did you
true.
try to force that out of him?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. And yeah, so Bonnie, you have an exciting horizon with a lot of things to do and not a lot of things to do, really.
Well,
Hopefully.
right now, I have to get to the horizon.
We have to hire somebody.
Yeah. Which we are making it
Which
very
we-
hard.
Like I said, we continue to.
Well, you know how many people retire when they hit 65?
Yes.
I didn't.
Wait,
So-
you're not 65?
No,
You're past that?
I'm past it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
you're
that's
65
crazy.
is in my rearview
You were
mirror
like
by a few
64.
years, actually, and which is fine because I'm still alive. I still have energy.
Right.
And you can still dance. As
I
we saw
know.
last
As we
week.
saw. Yes. You
And
can still
sing and-
dance
And
I-
sing
yes.
and be very active and proactive.
Right. And walking your dog,
And
Sophie.
yes, exactly. And I also want the opportunity to slow down a little bit.
Right.
Having everybody's deadlines has been really difficult. So I just want deadlines that are my own.
Yes.
Deadlines like, oh, okay, today I get to go see the doctor,
I know,
or,
right?
or deadlines like, okay, I'm going to go on this trip and I have to put my down payment by that. I mean, those kinds of deadlines, I want them to be those that I embrace. And at the same time, not walk away completely from teaching, which has given me life for a very long time, for most of my life. And so I want to see how that works, to be able to teach part time, continue to accompany some of the students in their journey toward completion of their degrees, but doing it in such a way like the professor who says, I'm retired and I'm going fishing. Well, I don't like to go fishing. I feel for the fish, but
Would you like to
to
drink
be able
wine?
to-
You just
yes.
say, I am retired and I just want to go in my studio and do art or
There
write
you
or
go.
whatever.
Right. Make
Have a-
poetry.
Go to a writing retreat or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things.
Good.
So, yeah.
But I'm sure you have another thing on your horizon, right? Apart from
Boyfriend?
retiring, I know you're gonna go to party.
Yes.
Another party.
That's right.
Wait,
In
you're going to
October.
Paris?
In
October,
October,
yes.
yeah.
Bonnie!
Yeah, I'm going to France with
And
my
we have a-
husband's family.
We have a brother who has always said he's been going.
Why did you never?
But he has
tell-
not
I
left.
have an Eiffel Tower in my look. I have an Eiffel Tower on my bedside, and I've been talking about going to Paris for that. That was my idea.
I'm not sure. I'm sure I told you I was going.
Aw,
no, you
look
see
at
right
you.
there on my.
I see your Eiffel Tower.
Yes, we
Yes.
see it.
Oh, it's so cute.
I know. It's a, so. Anyway, I don't. Just a parenthesis. I have a friend who lives in Paris, and he's keeps saying, "Oh, you should come over. You stay with me and my mom." Da da da. And sometimes like, "Oh, this year he didn't send me a gift for my." I'm gonna text him and say, "You
Oh
didn't
my
send me a
God! Look,
gift
you
for my
forget about the
birthday."
gift.
For my
But
birthday.
continue the conversation.
He sends me a gift for my birthday every year, almost every year. Anyway, so one year, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, he sent me a pair of shoes, and because I like
Oh,
shoes.
that's where you got the shoes from Paris.
One of them, yeah.
One of them.
Or a couple. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, we're not talking about my shoes. and he sent me a book with like phrases for like patty, French phrases, and then there was a pop-up card that when you open it, the Eiffel Tower is there, and it's in like the French
Oh.
colors. It's blue, white, and red. And so I put it open on my nightstand. And so it's been there for the past 3 years, and it's taken a few bumps here and there, and it's not in the best shape, but it's still standing.
Right.
Sometime, most times, every now and then it kind of falls. But anyway, so you're going to Paris?
Yes, in October.
I did not know that.
I'm sorry. I thought I told everybody I know. I'm going.
I
to
thought
France.
you had a
We
conversation
see
when
each
he was
other
there.
every week
Yes.
for this podcast. Every single week, at least twice a week, because you also come to our house on Wednesdays. And wow, I didn't.
I
know this.
think he forgot. I think you
No,
mentioned that.
I would remember
because
Patty.
I was there when you said it.
Uh-huh.
So
well, maybe
I
it was one of those times that Antonio wasn't around. It's possible.
Possible, yeah.
Oh.
Because there was one episode that I wasn't there too, with the red tent.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, there's been.
But
Times
I
that
was
haven't been
I don't think I was then, but yeah.
around.
Yes.
Oh well, now you know, brother.
Yes.
She's going to Paris.
That's exciting. I'm
Patty.
jealous for you. To
I
Patty.
have to listen to French. I studied French
Bonjour, mon
for
ami, ça
for
va?
5 years,
Ça va bien,
and I
merci.
cannot speak to save my life.
Tanto, tanto.
Bon, non, mais pas loin.
Para me palme.
But that's nice. I'm so
Thank
happy that
you.
you'll be going.
Thank you. What's on
I
your
know French,
horizon?
Patty. I'm French. I'm sorry. Go.
Oh, what's on my horizon? I will be going for ministry in Baltimore. Then after, I'm gonna be going to St. Lucia.
Yay!
I will be going to visit my family for.
You are going home.
Yes, I
Everybody's
would
going
need
home.
to go. I need to because my mom wants me to come home. So this is on my horizon. I'm happy that I'll be able to do that, to spend time with my parents and my friends back home, and that'll be an awesome trip. And I'll be able to eat fruits and vegetables freshly grown, and I'll be very happy about that. Yeah.
Nice.
And Antonio, what's on your horizon?
Well, finals right now.
Oh. Well, I look past that. Yes.
Yeah, look past that
I
horizon.
cannot see past. I actually, I mean, from an immediate future, I have a couple of commitments coming up in terms of preaching. I love. I still have a few birthday celebrations actually. too.
Yes.
Yes, I'm still. My birthday was a couple of weeks ago and still going strong.
Yes.
You get a whole birthday month.
Yes.
You know, one of the brothers in the past, because I was getting all these invitations, and he goes, "Is this the octave of your birthday?" And I said, "Yeah." And then, past the week of my birthday, I was still getting like invitations, not every day, but like, and he goes, "You're still celebrating your birthday?" I said, "Well, yeah, I guess." I said, "Well, people are celebrating it for me." And he goes, "So it's like, what do you call it, your birthday season?" I said, "Yes, exactly." So anyway, and so I have a couple of preaching commitments, which is always exciting because I love sharing the word of God with people, but also finals, blah, 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 blah. We have a student meeting coming up for all the Redemption students in North America. And then after that, I am also going home to Mexico.
Ooh,
Look
So
at you.
yes, so I'm really excited to be there. And what's really exciting about it is that now my mother lives in Mexico again. So it's going back home is like it's really going back home and not going back to like a cold house that was cleaned up so that we could come back into it. But it's a living house. There's something different about going to a house where someone lives in versus going to a house that nobody's been living in it, and somebody goes and cleans it before you get there and whatever. There's a certain kind of warmth. And so I'm really looking forward to that, and to I love eating at home and visiting because it's a small country town. There isn't that much to do. We take walks in the morning, whatever, have coffee together. So I'm excited about that future, and yeah.
Well, that's
Fantastic.
nice. I'm
Yes.
happy
So
that
I
you've
have,
been there.
yeah, I'm happy for you, both of you, for all of you
Yes.
that get to go home and
Even the people in the silent audience.
the-
Yes.
yes,
What's we have another
I
person
have-
in the silent audience.
yes, we
What's
do.
your what's in your horizon, brother Dang?
Sleep.
He's really looking at like the immediate horizon. It's just like right now I cannot look past bedtime. That's very relatable.
It is.
Well,
So thank you, Brother Dang, for upgrading our podcast with real microphones
Yes.
and a soundboard and technician.
Yes.
I know, and it's the last one
Which
for the
means
season.
we're going out on a very high note, and means that
Yes.
the Open Up podcast is growing and it's going strong, and yeah. So,
So-
but what's maybe we could dream
Yes.
about the future. We don't know what's going to happen.
Right, we
don't
don't know yet.
It could
Use
be
our
that
imagination.
It could be that next semester we have night. Well, you won't have night classes, Bonnie, because you won't even be at
I
school.
won't have any night.
You don't know that. Imagine that you get an email and says all of these classes have been moved tonight, and then you're at school every night, Monday through Thursday,
It could
and
happen.
we don't have time to, But we can imagine
Yes.
what do we imagine or envision for the Open Up podcast for the next 10 years.
Wow.
Oh, 10
Well,
years,
first
that's
of all,
awesome.
that I would still be alive.
I agree, me
That
too.
would be on the horizon. Yeah, I think I'm going to need some time to think about that.
Yes.
And maybe our audience can give us some ideas of what they would like to see Open Up Podcasts become.
Yeah, I think from the first few conversations we had about the podcast and to what we wanted to do, before we even had a permanent guest. who
Oh,
called
really?
himself, before there were even
I was at
any
those
talks.
conversations.
Maybe some of them. And so to see what we've created and you know that we have a few people who are excited to listen to our podcast and to the conversations that we've been able to share. I think most importantly, the conversations, the moments we've been able to share, because people don't know this, but there's a whole podcast that happens before we even press
Yes,
record.
right.
Yeah, there's a whole of conversation.
Which I think should be recorded.
Some of it.
Yeah, some
And
of
then
it, not all
after
of
the
it, yeah.
podcast,
And after the
there's even
podcast,
a
yes.
whole
Late nights and,
Right.
and you know it's been a process.
With some
but
wine.
but even people that you know this season we had 2 episodes where we had guests, well 3 because William was in it, and the silence audience also changed, you know, during the season, and to have
Yes.
people there and that we've been able to share that and these moments, it's been very exciting. So I
That's
think
great.
whatever is in the future, if nothing else, we have an exciting community amongst ourselves and with the people that we are connecting with, but also it's exciting to think of what could come after.
Yes.
You know, what will
yes.
come next.
You know, if it wasn't for this pod, we've had many conversations, right?
Yes.
That we would not normally have
Yes.
together. We would be talking about something else, but with this podcast, we have chosen topics and we are able to delve deep in them and how it impact us and how we see it could impact others.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if it wasn't for this podcast, you would still be mad at me about something that I wouldn't know about.
what are you talking about? I don't understand. No, we would still be friends no matter what of the podcast. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Well, I have heard your conversations. and
Yes,
I know what he's talking about.
Yes.
But
so-
that's okay. We're not going to open up about
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
season.
Next time,
We
open
may
up,
open
but-
about that next season.
Not even next.
Maybe that'll be like on that. Maybe we should press record on those conversations too, and just be like, "This is what we're talking about." It's a 2-hour episode. This is the actual episode, and then here are 2 hours of extra material if you care to listen to it.
Right.
Yes. Well, I wanted to thank both of you for a wonderful 2 seasons
Yes.
of Open Up. And I wanted to let you know that we have been nominated for the best podcast from Vanderbilt Street in San Antonio. It's a
Oh,
real
we're
thing
gonna
I made up.
obviously win. Duh.
Oh my God. Well,
I think we have a very good chance of winning
I
it.
know.
Hey, we're second to none.
I know. We are number one. But we also thank our listeners and those who have made the time to listen to us rant and maybe talk about some important things that they think that is important to them.
Yes, and as we are starting to sort of come to the conclusion, instead of leaving you with a question or something to think of, we want to share another poem by Rudy Francisco again, but that it reflects our wishes for you while we prepare the next season and while we go away, and we hope that there are exciting things in your horizon, but we also want to wish you blessings. So Bonnie's going to read this poem for us.
It's called A Prayer. May your blessings arrive early enough and catch your sadness off guard. May tragedy be a step too slow. May forgiveness show up at your door. Let every moment be a reminder that a sunrise is still beautiful, and so are you. May joy appear in a flash flood and call depression a liar when it shrinks. May regret loosen its grip until shame is a language your body has forgotten. You are more than the sum of your mistakes. No matter how bad a day, it's allowed to start over. This is a direct order to continue shining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reading that, Bonnie. It's very beautiful. And thank you all again for
Thank you.
listening to us. And we're looking forward to having you on the next season of Open Up.
Bye.
Bye.